Hi Pep, David Anderson, Daily Mirror. Pep, just on Kevin De Bruyne, you've managed his comeback very carefully because, of course, last time earlier this season he broke down when he came back. Does Kevin maybe need to understand that you're trying to act in his long-term interest to make sure when he does stay fit for a long time for the rest of the season rather than just one match?
No, I don't know what happened. So he didn't speak to me, so I don't know what happened. So he has a problem. He knows where I am. So I don't know really. I didn't speak with him, so at one time I cannot say what he thinks because I don't know.
Hi Pep, just wanted to know about Ilkay Gundogan being back fit. How important a role do you think he'll have for the rest of the season?
Everybody's important with this amount incredible of games, so I not suspect. So everybody was involved in the last 2 months. I think it was not one player don't play minutes. So everybody was there. So and after that, they have to show us and they have to show me how is their level to be in the squad when I believe, try to convince me he's really fit and really in physical and mentally conditions to play regularly. But everybody plays, and of course Gundogan, the last 2 games like a holding midfielder, he had more space than usual, of course, but he was so clever. He made an incredible assists, a lot of passes to finishing goals, so his quality is incredible. So we knew that. Unfortunately, the first season was a long injury like Mendy last season, and when he's fit, he's an incredible player. This player can play in the role of holding midfielder because he has the quality to vision the pass, and when he's close in the box, like the goal from Kevin is quite similar. He arrived in the right tempo in the right moment to score a goal. So he's a fantastic player.
And he's got coming into the last 18 months of his contract. Is he another player you'll be looking to sign up for more years?
He knows what we want, yeah. He knows, but the same, it's in our hands.
Hi Pep, James Robson, Standard. We know how important you think Fernandinho is to this club. You said that from the moment you came in. Is that why it's so difficult to find this long-term successor to him, or this someone who can at least provide cover for him? Because it's been over a year now that you've been trying to find someone to fill that role.
It's not easy to find a specific quality of the players, but there are not many. There are players to can play in that role. Specifically, Fernandinho is so difficult to find it. Know the league, the Premier. Know after 3 years together knows everything, and it's so important. You know that. But of course, for the next season, it's an important target to find.
Wolves have got their
because
own.
we'll have 34 years old, 1 more year, and of course he cannot play every 3 days.
Wolves have got their own player in that sort of position, Ruben Neves, who's been appreciated for how well he's played this season. Is he that type of player?
He's an excellent player. And involves play the 2 holding midfielder, not just 1. But he's an excellent player.
Does that make it unique here at City, the fact that you've got that 1 holding midfield player? Is that what's so difficult in terms of finding?
No, it's not difficult. There are many can play in that position. So there are many clubs in the world, many holding midfielders in the world, and most of them can play here. So it's not the point. So there are, but most of them under contract. So today, the moment you started a big month ago, I read about Ruben Neves, £100 million. So that is not going to happen. We are not going to pay £100 million for a holding midfielder. So
that's a problem, though, isn't it? If you're setting that limit of not paying that much money.
No, not just that. So there are, of course, all departments in the club. We have in every position 4, 5, 6 options. It depends on the age. It depends on the what you believe, and of course the price. So the expensive one, it was I think Laporte or Riyadh, and it's far away from most of the teams. The top teams of the club play. So one transfer, and the wage for the salary for the players is 8th or 9th or 10th in Europe. So there are 8 or 9 clubs. The wages are higher than Manchester City pay. So we try to be stable in everything. So when we spent a lot last season, or 2 seasons ago, is because the team, I said many times, it was old. It's 30, 31 years old, and that's why we do it. But we cannot do it every season. I am in touch with the CEO. He said we have a limit. We cannot spend more. So that's why we have to be careful. Look the players we can do it, and try the next season. See what we can do to to get him better.
Hi Pep, David from Blue Moon Podcast. Just wanted to ask you about Gabriel Jesus. It's been roughly 2 years since he arrived. How has he developed over that time, and how far do you think he can go?
Well, I have the feeling he had improved. He improved, and he has to improve. It's not easy for him playing the position like Sergio, for the quality, for the legend, for that club. You know, sometimes clubs play with 2 strikers, we play with 1. But there are many games, so with this young, it's the same. Today is a birthday from Leroy, 23. He has, I think, 21, 22. Raheem the same. So we are a young strikers. That it's amazing for our future. But the most important thing for Gabriel is always open. He always in the training session every game. It was like the last one in his life, and that is the best way to be willing, to improve. But he has to improve. I think in the position he plays, in the smaller spaces, he has to be the right tempo, the right quality, the right movement. Not movement for itself. Movement is the right tempo, the right time. And I think he's going to improve, and we want to help him. From that.
Hi Pep, James Ducker from the Daily Telegraph. Pep, Kyle Walker's started your last 2 cup games, but he hasn't started your previous 3 league games. Why do you think his form has dropped off a bit in recent weeks and months? And what's he got to do to get back into your team on a regular basis?
Well, there's no doubt about how important is Kyle for us, for me. So we need him. But we need him. So the best Kyle, we need him. But one day I decided to put Danilo, and he played top, and I gave him more minutes, because also can Danilo say, I arrive here for Madrid and you never give me 4 games in a row or 5 games in a row? I am unfair with him, because the people, you judge one player for 1 minute or for 1 game, and after that 3 more games or 4 more games sitting beside me, and the player, you want to judge just for that game, and the players needs time, and after the winter time was so demanding, I decided to put 1 game Danilo and play good, and I said I wanted him 1 more game or 2 more games.
And is that a reminder to Kyle, though, that the level of competition in this squad, that if the door opens for someone else and they take that chance, then he's going to have to raise his game to get back into the side?
Well, I think they know it. They know already, but maybe, sometimes sitting, maybe you realize more, but they know it. In the beginning of the season, we spoke about that. We can imagine different start 11, and everybody can play. And when we don't win, always we just, why didn't play that guy? Normally when we win, the people don't think about the players don't play. But the players don't play, they know they have to be in the high level, because the other ones, if you are not injured, they can play.
Hi Pep, Jack Gordon for the Mail. Just going back to the midfield and the wanting to sign a new central midfielder, how there's obviously a scramble for Frenkie de Jong at the moment, and Barcelona, like reports in Spain are saying that Barcelona think they're close. How difficult is it for you at the moment that every big club seems to be going for the same players? Is it getting more difficult?
Yeah, of course, if you are the only one, you want 1 player, it's easy. But if you want 1 player and many players want him, so it's more complicated, especially if Madrid-Barcelona. So normally when you want to humble with Barcelona Madrid, you're going to lose. So no chance. And you have to be quicker, and you have to be more efficient, and when the case there are 1 player, the interest for many, so the club knows, because welcome everybody, and it will be more expensive for everybody, so it's what it is. But I'm not talking about the case from Ajax player, because it's Ajax player, so I don't know, and because I said to James, so there are many players, so there's not just 1, so if it doesn't happen, so next season we're going to try it like we tried last season, and to be more stable will happen. But in that period now, when I saw last games with sometimes more defensive role like John, for example, or last 2 games with Gundogan, when we need one more creative players in that position, the final third. So Gundo, I don't think it's easy to find in Europe one player in that position to more clear in the pass and assist than Gundogan, and we have it. So that's why in the transfer window, when you ask me about going to the transfer window, I say no, because I know the players' the quality after 3 seasons. I know exactly what they can give us until the end of the season.
Do you think the club generally are quick enough to try and beat their rivals for transfer targets?
I would say they're incredible top what they are working, what they are doing. So look simple is not simple. Look easy is not easy. To buy players, especially right now, for all the clubs in the world, and they're doing really well because I am in touch quite often with Chiki, especially because he's close to my door, and I know exactly what they do in all the situation. They're in academy, in the first team, and everywhere, and they are doing really, really well. But sometimes it not depends on us. You have to pay the club, you have to pay the family, but talk with the players, with agents. It's not really simple. It's complicated, and it's also complicated.
Hi, Pep. Paul Hurst from the Times. Given how well Gundogan's played in that position recently, does it make you a bit more, relaxed about resting Fernandinho, because he's not, he's played quite a lot, hasn't he, this season?
Yeah. I was, but sometimes you need it. Of course, we played in a championship team and a League One team, and of course, with all respect of them, of course, at the end, the quality make the difference. But of course, we knew it. Last season against Tottenham, when we played to win the Premier League and many important games, he played in that role and played excellent. So it's just to be focused a little bit in defensive issue, and after that, the quality they has is incredible.
In terms of De Jong, as Jack said, there's a lot of clubs that are interested in him. Do you think you will sign him? Do you think there's a good possibility?
No, I don't talk about the players are not here. Never did it and never will do it. So he put example this Ajax player, but I make a statement like in general. When many teams want a player, it's more complicated than just one. It was his question, but I'm not talking about him.
Pep, sorry, could I just ask you about Marcelo Bielsa? You've spoken before about how you think he's the best coach in the world. Could you just expand on that and explain what you think his specific strengths are that make him have such a high reputation, and why?
But first, I should have been trained with him to know exactly how he's like a manager. First, I don't want to make a mistake in my opponents. First of all, I love him, especially like a human being. He trained me when I was young, incredible way, and his success, I feel it like my success in terms. I'm not involved in anything, but I like with the people I like, so going well. I think it's the best because it's just to always I try to listen what the player says about the managers, because this is the real truth. The other depends on the results, and the results, the guys who are in charge with the big clubs is easier than the other ones. So we win because we are in a good clubs and good players. But everybody was with him. Everybody's better player, and the teams are better, and that's why it's a special manager, a special person. And I will support the Leeds, and hopefully next season can be in the Premier League, because it will be good for the Premier League. And I admire his being in a national team from Argentina in a big clubs, has the humility to go in the championship, go in there, and try to historic team like Leeds, put it on top, and go to in the Premier League. So I wish him all the best, and nothing.
Do you think that reputation, those achievements, have helped him make such a big impact at a club that has had a lot of problems over the last few years?
Last few weeks?
Yes.
Yeah, but we lost 2 games too. So nobody is exempt to don't lose games. So everybody do that.
Do you think his reputation has allowed him to achieve such a lot in a short space of time at least? Over the years,
so no doubt he's an incredible manager. So he knows the game and read the game and understand the game like few managers in the world. So in that case, I don't have doubt he's able to do that. But the championship, with the people who spoke to me, is so demanding because there are even more games than the Premier League and never end. and that's why it has to be consistent for a long time. It's real tough, hopefully, but what is able to do it, to achieve it, there's no doubt about that, because I'm pretty sure it's not. So the manager, every manager has his own reputation, but the reputation is the day one when you arrive in front of two players, or what you say, or what you you start to work. So the managers don't defend what we have done in the past for the new players, or when you go tomorrow, Monday, to play a game, your reputation is nothing, is over. It's what happened yesterday when you convince two players. In that, Marcelo is, I think, the best one for that fact, for every player. If you speak with every player in different countries, in different nationalities, everybody speaks incredible well about him and his professionality, his work ethic, and they make them better. So they make them better. The own player is better player after his hands, and that is the most, I think, title, the most pride one manager can get by far.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.